Distance, you can then see just behind the street sign the explosion coming up from the ground. 74 people, we believe, were on board that plane. Altogether, that includes crew. No one is reported to have survived. Now Russia, for its part, says radars detect the launch of 2 Ukrainian missiles. They've called it a barbaric act of terrorism, while the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, has blamed Ukraine for that crash in the Belgorod region. A Russian transport aircraft, Ilyushin-76, was downed. It was supposed to transport from the Moscow region to Belgorod. 65 military servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine. They were accompanied by 3 Russian officers and the crew of 6 people. All of them died. The Ukrainian prisoners of war were transported to the Belgorod region in order to conduct yet another swap that was agreed between Moscow and Kiev. Well, Ukrainian military intelligence has issued a statement saying it doesn't have any reliable information about who exactly was on board the plane and how many people were there. It also says that Ukraine had not been informed of the need to ensure the safety of airspace near the city of Belgorod at the defined time. They say that is something that's happened on numerous occasions before. In that statement, they go on to say it could point to Russia's deliberate actions, they say, aimed at putting the lives and safety of those prisoners of war under threat. So they are certainly blaming Russians for not telling them that that plane was there. They say they've increased missile attacks in that area, given the increase in the number of Russian military planes in the area around the border. So what exactly do we know with the latest update from Kiev? Here's our Eastern Europe correspondent, Sarah Reinford. Well, we've certainly got our first official statements from the Ukrainian side here in Kiev. We've been asking for comments and for explanation for several hours, and we now have 2 statements coming in rapid succession. So one is from the military intelligence unit here, and also the second one from Ukraine's General Staff of the Armed Forces. Now there are some answers and still some questions. Essentially what we have from the Ukrainian military intelligence is an implicit acknowledgement, I think, that Ukraine has shot down a Russian transport plane, an Il-76 plane, over Belgorod, as Russia has been claiming all day. But Ukraine is not able to say or is not saying who or what was on board that plane. The statement says that there is no reliable information about what was on board, whether there were prisoners of war on board who have been returned as part of a prisoner exchange to Ukraine. But they are saying that there was a prisoner exchange that was planned today. And they then go on to explain that normally, if there is a prisoner exchange, then the Russians will give information to Ukraine about how those prisoners will be returned. And usually, if an aircraft is to be used,